The 8 habits of the healthiest older people. The top 8 habits of the healthiest over 40s. What do they do differently? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm exploring 8 key behaviours that set apart some of the healthiest people in an 8-year study of over 700,000 participants between the ages of 40 and 99. The individuals in the study who incorporated these 8 healthy habits by the age of 40 experienced on average an increase in their lifespan of up to 20 years compared with those who didn't adopt the similar healthy habits. And the impact was diminished but still really significant for those people who didn't include the healthy practices until they were age 60. A research team at the VA Boston healthcare system gathered this information regarding physical activity, nutrition, sleep patterns, mental well-being, social connections and alcohol consumption from over 700,000 people ranging in ages from 40 to 99. The participants completed lifestyle surveys between the years of 2011 and 2019, and the researchers then analysed these along with their medical health records. And the researchers identified these 8 specific habits that were linked to a significantly reduced risk of mortality during this period, risk of death. After the data was analysed from the 8-year study, some fascinating insights were discovered that could explain why some people are stronger, fitter and more mobile than many others as they age. Without further ado, let's discover what these 8 powerful habits are, and importantly, how you can incorporate potentially to increase your own lifespan as well as making your older years more productive and pain-free. Number 1, the first habit is consistency. The healthiest people maintained at least one health practice that they engaged in every single day, whether it was yoga, resistance training, walking, just getting their daily steps in. They prioritised those activities and they only missed them for really valid reasons. Think about it. If you follow a moderate gym routine, but you do it consistently 4 times a week, that's going to beat every time a perfect routine that someone only manages to do once every 2 weeks. Consistency often trumps intensity when it comes to our health. Number 2, next up, resistance training. It's been found that a huge 75% of the healthiest people engage in some form of resistance exercise. Weight training usually. This type of training is vital for improving mobility, independence, longevity and also mental health. Not everybody had a gym membership, far from it. Many of them just used everyday objects around the house, whether it was bags filled with sand or water bottles or just simple body weight exercises like I covered previously in my video on exercise snacking. They made it work. Resistance bands, another easy one. The commitment resulted in better muscle mass and strength compared with their peers. Number 3, walking was another common practice. Each of the healthiest people studied averaged at least 6,000 steps per day. Many of them, like I am, were dog owners, which naturally encourages regular walks. Among all the 8 factors in the study, physical activity did have the most substantial effect on longevity, and engaging in moderate exercise, such as even just brisk daily walking, was associated with a 46% lower risk of death over the 8-year study, which is quite massive, isn't it, compared with the people in the study who were sedentary. Research does show us that significant health benefits can be achieved at the 6,000 steps mark, but speed does also matter. So you need to walk intentionally rather than just meandering, and consider incorporating brisk walks into your routine, just 10 or 15 minutes a couple of times a day. It just adds up and can make this substantial difference to your long-term health. Try a half-hour brisk walk after your main meal, or even after each of your meals, depending on your timetable, obviously. It's the very best way to make your blood sugar come down after you've been eating. My paternal grandparents and my dad's parents, they walked every day, rain or shine, for their whole retired lives, and with a positive mindset. Even when their health was starting to fail, they just kept walking and just kept believing that they were fine. They just had this massive positive attitude to life. And if you can just inject 4 to 6 short sprints into your walks, you're going to see even more amazing improvements. I just published another video all about this subject. I'll leave a link at the end of the presentation. Ideas to increase your step count. You could consider having meetings whilst walking outside, or park the car further away from your destination, or get off the bus a stop or two earlier. Always take the stairs. Remember, lifts, elevators, and escalators are all the enemies of longevity. Watch my video on exercise snacking for more on this subject. The healthiest older people also demonstrated a strong awareness of their eating habits. They didn't all adhere to strict diets, but they were mindful about their food choices and they practiced discipline. So, an example, most of them were able to maintain a healthy weight without obsessing over food labels or following faddy quick fix diets. They focused instead on consistency. Again, that little word. 90% of the time they made healthy choices, which significantly then impacted their overall health. They tended to eat whole, real foods rather than heavily processed foods, and they cooked much of their food at home. And not many of them were takeaway addicts. They also intentionally drank little to no alcohol, and they didn't smoke, or they'd either given up or they just never smoked in the first place. In the study, participants without a history of opioid use or opioid use disorder had a 38% lower risk of death during the study compared with those who had such a history. Number 5, a sense of purpose was pivotal for the healthy individuals. Many of them were involved in community activities, volunteering, or creative projects like writing. Studies do indicate that having a purpose can lead to a longer, healthier life, especially once you're retired. And actively seeking ways to contribute and stay engaged is really vital for a positive mindset and a healthy older age. We all need to feel like we're needed and we're useful. And volunteering for a charity or your church, in a club, in a school or a hospital are all places where you can connect with other people, make friends and become a necessary cog in an organisation, bringing incredible benefits to others as well as yourself. I'm incredibly beneficial to you, aren't I? My mother-in-law is still an active member of the Women's Masons, and she's 90 and she still travels all over the UK, giving talks, partaking in ceremonies. It's super, super important to her. It's been her life for 30 or 40 years. She just will not hear it that she should relax and take it easy. And I do truly believe that her involvement in an organisation which she's passionate about just continues to keep her young and keep her young at heart, and is one of the main reasons that she's still independent, still lives at home with her husband, and she has a purpose. Number 6, social interaction played a crucial role in the health of the healthiest. Every individual in the study had some form of social commitment, whether it was a weekly family gathering or participating in local clubs. Social engagement really can go hand in hand with the previous point, which was having a sense of purpose. Loneliness can significantly impact health. We know this, increasing the risk of conditions like dementia by up to 50%. Regular social contact is essential, not just for maintaining both your physical health, but your mental well-being. And it doesn't have to be daunting. There are so many clubs and groups out there. You just have to find one that grabs you and sign up and just start going and keep going, or get back to the volunteering. Another noteworthy habit is the commitment to addressing joint stiffness. Instead of just accepting stiffness as a natural part of aging, those people who actively worked on improving their mobility through regular stretching and mobility routines fared much, much better. So if you're looking to enhance your mobility, there are many programs and effective routines which you can do at home, or join a club or a group. But the ones at home, there's so many of them available for free on YouTube and on other platforms. I started practicing yoga at home in this room about 2 years ago, as I just never seemed to manage to get to the regular classes. They were always in the evenings at my local gym when I'm absolutely least motivated and tired, and they were always full up. And the Plus, the yoga studio was right next to the gym, where people would just constantly crash these big weights down on the floor, which I felt was very un-zen. I wanted to restart regular yoga, and I decided I'd just get up a little earlier each day and fit it in before coffee. My husband joined me after a few days. This was after initially grumbling about it and saying, well, don't expect me to be jumping out of bed at 5:30, will you? He got FOMO, he just didn't want to miss out, and he joined in as well. We do our yoga together every morning, 20 to 30 minutes, and we rarely take a day off. My flexibility and strength has improved in spades. It's the best way I can think of to start my day, and it was also a springboard to improving my life in so many other areas. And we practice, if you're interested, with Charlie Follows. She's a British instructor on YouTube. She's bloody amazing. She does something for everyone, from complete beginners right up to advanced. Number 8, the healthiest people generally maintained a positive outlook on life. They face challenges just like we all do, but they approach them with a glass half full attitude, shush, rather than the opposite. They learn to face difficulties with resilience and humour, laughter, of course, being the best medicine. Come and sit up here. No? Instead of dwelling on their setbacks, they focused on lessons learned and the good memories that they created. One man shared how he recently visited a friend in a nursing home who was nearing the end of his life, and rather than feeling overwhelmed by sadness, he reflected on the joyful moments they'd shared over the years, allowing the other person to smile and cherish those memories instead of just sitting there feeling super sad about his approaching death. And research consistently shows that having a positive mindset not only enhances, and a sense of humour not only enhances emotional well-being, but it can also lead to better physical health and longevity, which is amazing. It turns out that laughter really is the best medicine. By fostering gratitude and maintaining this hopeful perspective, you can effectively navigate the ups and downs of your life, reinforcing your overall well-being. A positive outlook serves as a powerful tool in the wellness arsenal of our healthiest clients, demonstrating that attitude can significantly influence our health outcomes. Lastly, the healthiest older people also slept well. They got 7 to 9 hours a night on a regular schedule. A good sleep routine is absolutely essential for our brain health, and this is a subject I'm going to cover in more detail on another video. Fixing my own sleep was definitely a really major part of my own healing process. In summary, following a nutritious diet, engaging in regular physical activity, especially flexibility and strength training, nurturing positive social relationships and effectively managing your stress, also consuming moderate alcohol, avoiding smoking, getting sufficient sleep, plus refraining from opioid use were all strong positive habits which led to better overall health outcomes for the large numbers of people that were studied. 700,000, it's big, isn't it? One last point, throughout the 8-year study, just over 33,000 of the people passed away, because obviously they were a big age group, and after accounting for variables such as age, socioeconomic status and race, the researchers came to the conclusions that I've just laid out for you. I hope this study will inspire you to introduce some of these 8 healthy habits into your own timetables, with the aim of aging healthily whilst not accepting that aging has to equal a decline, and as a result being able to look forward to a pain and medication-free older life. At age 56, I think of the next 50 years of my life as the second part, as part 2, and I'm determined to live it as abundantly as I can, as I'm sure many of you feel the same way. Thank you for watching. Please drop me a comment below. I love hearing your thoughts and your ideas, and if you haven't done already, please remember to give me a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Let's build a community of like-minded people. Meanwhile, I'll continue to bring you more useful health content to empower you to make informed choices about your own health and well-being. If you've enjoyed this video, I think you're going to enjoy the next one too. Bye for now.